Hi, my name's Corey Anderson, and in this video we are going to show you how to properly set up and use a hookah. First, let's go over the parts that you'll be using in the setup of your hookah. The first part that you're probably going to be using is your base. You also have your stem, your bowl grommet, your hose, also with a grommet on the end, your ash catch, your aluminum foil or charcoal screen, and then of course you have your shisha, your quick lights or natural coals, a lighter, your tongs, and your water. The water that we use here is filtered water from our tap. We have hard water, and if you do have hard water, I would recommend filtering yours as well, as the minerals in harder water can shorten the lifespan of your hookah's stem, causing it to rust quicker, which will also decrease the quality of the smoke. When you put your stem into your hookah, you want to make sure that the water is just about a ½ inch above the bottom of the stem. If you go any harder, it's going to affect the pull that you have when you're trying to smoke. You also want to make sure that your stem is tightly seated into your base. And then you can go ahead and put your ash catch on there, as well as the grommet for the bowl. Next, we're going to show you how to pack your bowl. You're going to take your shisha, pull it out in clumps. It's going to be fairly tightly packed together. What you're going to want to do is pull it apart and get it as loosely as you can into that bowl. The looser that you can get the shisha, the better airflow that you will have through your hookah, and also the less likely that it will be to burn. When you pack it, you want to make sure you don't go over the rim of that bowl, because when you put the aluminum foil on there, your coals sit on that aluminum foil directly, and you don't want the coals to touch that hookah. You want some airspace in between there to prevent any kind of burning of the tobacco. This is something that's different when you smoke hookah. You're not actually trying to burn that shisha, which is your tobacco. You're more trying to burn the molasses that it covers up, and you're trying to heat up the tobacco more than you are trying to burn it. We are using aluminum foil here instead of a factory-made charcoal screen. Charcoal screens do work, however, I feel that the holes are too big. They also can get bent and messed up pretty easily, so I think this aluminum foil does a much better job of doing what we needed to do here. So take the aluminum foil and have it shiny side down, and then wrap it all the way around your bowl tightly. Go at least about an inch, a little more if you can. You can't really go too far. You can, however, go too short, and if this happens, the aluminum foil could slip off, which then could in turn cause a coal to fall off your hookah as well. So after you wrap it down, you're going to take a thumbtack or something else, safety pin, or even a paper clip would work. And what you're going to do is you're going to poke holes about every 1/4 inch all the way into from the center to the outside rim, all the way around. Many tongs come with a hole punch, but it's usually fairly blunt and large as well. You can use them if you want, but I would recommend something smaller with a sharper point. If your holes get too large, there's nothing really stopping any ash or sparks from getting down into your shisha, which will then make your smoke a little bit harsher. You can go ahead now and put your packed bowl on top of your hookah. Make sure that you have it firmly placed on the grommet on the top, as you don't want any leaks in here creating any kind of airflow changes. You can go put your hose in as well. Same thing, make sure you have it firmly put into your stem. We're going to light our coals now. Quick lights is what we are going to be using in this video, because naturals take about 10 to 15 minutes to get set up. They need to be completely lit, and you have to use a stove to get them started. Most first-time or newer smokers are probably going to go ahead and use these quick lights, especially if you haven't smoked a lot before. You're not going to notice a huge difference in taste. Now with the quick lights, we're using a butane lighter because we've noticed that it lights the coals a lot faster, obviously, but without any negative side effects. The coals aren't ashing any more than they usually would with a regular lighter, and they're also not burning through any quicker than we've noticed in the past. So one way to tell when your coal's just about ready is you're going to get that nice red glow on the bottom being the side with the indent in it, and then it's also going to stop sparking. And when the sparks are done, it's a pretty good sign that your coal's been lit all the way through. But if you don't have a glow, you're going to want to make sure you stick on a little longer to make sure that it stays warm. You notice that we have an ashtray underneath where we're lighting. That's not so much for anything that's going to be falling off the coal, but Every once in a while, you will get a lower quality coal, and you can notice this when you light it. It may start to crack. It is possible for those coals to actually just break in half or explode. If you ever see a crack in your coal, the wisest thing you can do is just put it down in your ashtray and get a new one and just throw that one out when it's cold. When you put those coals on top, you want to make sure that you have them spaced out towards the edges. If you have them too close to the center, it's going to get a lot of heat on that central point, and you don't want your shisha to burn, as we talked about. You just want it to get it heated up. Next, I'm going to show you a demonstration of ashing. This is something you're going to need to do a couple times while your coals are going. What you're going to do is you're going to pick them up and then gently drop them into that tray. It's just going to knock some of the ash off around the edges, and it'll make your smoke a little bit smoother for a little longer while you smoke. When you go to put the coal back on, make sure you blow off any ash that's sitting on top of the aluminum foil. You don't want it to fall through into your shisha and getting an ashy taste.